What happened?
It's a Sunday, and it's the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. I got Pappas on my right, Kiefer on the left, so we've got we're full strength today.
First of the year. Happy New Year, everybody.
And before we get into
Happy
the
New
meat of the program today, I'd like to tell everyone what I did last night.
Did you say meat?
The meat of the program.
How about we talk about the podcast first before we talk about you?
Well, I don't like to talk about me that much, but
No,
I just wanted to get something because we have so much shit to talk about today.
My shock face.
That if I don't do it now, then it won't happen.
All right, Dan, go ahead, bud.
So my wife and I went out last night and saw a picture, motion picture.
I hope you didn't go see Avatar.
Are you Humphrey fucking Bogart?
I'm just saying we
Are
saw.
you that old? We went and saw. A
I'm
picture.
not allowed to use the term motion picture.
No, you just said picture.
Picture.
I call it. Hollywood people call it a picture.
I
so
knew exactly what you were saying, but goddamn, most people say we went to a movie.
Those in the biz.
We called them talkies back in the day.
Oh Jesus, fuck.
No, but it's been a while since we saw a movie at a theater.
I mean,
I think it's been
Theater or theater?
a theater.
What theater?
We went to the one in not Norwood, but in Milford.
Okay.
But anyway, we saw
They get shot, did he?
we saw Song Sung Blue.
I was curious about.
I've
that.
seen the trailer for it, and I thought
I was
going
curious.
in that it was going to be a Neil Diamond biopic.
Wasn't it?
No,
It is not.
It's a movie about a guy and a gal
Wait.
who impersonate Neil Diamond.
Well, they don't do an impersonation. They do. It's not a. What's the word they use in the film?
Tribute.
It's an experience.
Wait.
It's a Neil Diamond experience.
Wait.
What?
It's not a movie about Neil Diamond?
It is not a movie about Neil Diamond.
Well, that's.
But it's all
false
his fucking
advertising.
songs.
But yeah, it's all his songs.
It's false advertising.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is too.
It is not.
It is too.
My wife knew. She read a lot more about the movie
the
going
commercial
into
on TV, and it
it
leads
is not
you to
a
believe,
Neil Diamond biopic.
like you led me to believe you know shit about pizza. It leads me to believe that somehow this is a Neil Diamond documentary.
I highly recommend it.
Watch the commercials.
I've seen the commercial. I thought it was a Neil Diamond because I'm
So
watching the
that's
beginning of
false
the movie and I'm like,
advertising.
wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Where's the part where we discover this guy's like Neil Diamond?
And he's
Because
not.
the beginning of the movie. Here. Let me give you a good example.
Oh,
Did you
Jesus
ever
Christ.
see the?
Okay, this is taking too long.
Did you ever see the?
longest?
Did you ever see the movie Flight?
No.
With Denzel Washington.
Yes, we talked about it actually.
Okay, I'm asking Pappas. I know
No,
you and I saw this.
I
but-
believe he was here when we talked about
No.
it.
But here's the thing.
Great movie.
And if you haven't seen it, this is going to be a spoiler. Well, I'm not. I'm not even going to do that. But anyway,
Thank God.
I did not know. I thought I knew the premise of the movie going in. I did not know it, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, so that's your movie. This is
they
our
went-
movie review segment.
It was good storytelling,
Okay.
and
but there were a shit ton of his songs in the movie.
yes, there is.
the guy looked like him.
I asked my wife at the end. I said,
Hugh-
"Was that a musical we
Jackman.
just watched?"
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh
Yes.
Jackman.
Oh well, Jason might have liked it if it was a musical. He's
I-
the play guy.
I want.
By the
see
way,
it. I want to go see that movie.
I
actually.
interviewed Hugh
No,
Jackman
it's
once.
false advertisement. I mean, I'm watching. You thought by watching
And-
the trailers it was a movie about Neil Diamond.
Yes, I did.
I've seen the trailers. It looks to be a movie about Neil Diamond.
It does, but
Okay, so I don't see how you cannot come to the conclusion that, given that it leads you to believe that it's a movie about Neil
What did
Diamond,
I say at the beginning?
anybody that watches it,
I
well,
thought
I'm
it was a Neil
responding to
Diamond
some
biopic. Which
responding to our resident moron.
I
who's
think
back
a
here
Neil
for the new
Diamond
year.
biopic would be very interesting as well, but this was not a Neil Diamond
Well,
biopic.
then it's false advertising.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
I'm not going to say it.
Hugh Jackman was actually a guest on the Bob and Tom show at a release date in Indianapolis, and I saw that little blurb on YouTube, and he was like, "It's not chronicling his life; it is a story of a couple
Yes.
who are both musicians.
Yes.
That were impersonating his life.
So it's like watching a movie about an Elvis impersonator.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
Okay,
Well-
I got a yes and a no. So I'm
Well, that's the way Hugh
That's
Jackman
not-
said it on Bob and Tom.
there you go.
But still, I've interviewed
I
Hugh
rest
Jackman
my
in the
case.
past.
Oh, now you're bringing out the big. Now
Oh,
you're dropping the
and-
big card. You see what he did?
No, he's
Did you see
he's
what he
dropping
did?
names.
I'm
That's
just
why-
saying.
Hold on a
He's
second.
dropping
Just a
And
second.
he referred to
Whoa,
me
whoa,
as mate.
hold on a second.
So
Oh.
Hugh Jackman has referred to
'Cause
me
he
as his
wanted-
mate.
We
See,
just
that's-
talked about him
So
not
Hugh-
wanting to deal with animals.
So Hugh Jack, well,
Well-
Hugh Jackman is a man. He's
No,
not
no.
an animal.
Did you see? Did
But
you
he's
see what he
he's
did
like
there?
it's almost like, look, I'm not claiming that we're best buds or
No,
anything,
no,
but
yeah, you kind of are.
but he is my mate.
Wait, oh, okay.
He is my buddy.
Okay, good. Why don't you go mate with him? Listen, let me tell you something.
You guys
You
remember?
see what he
So-
did there? You see what he did?
So you're sitting next
No,
to
no.
a guy who has been in proximity to Hugh Jackman. So I
no,
think
you
that's
weren't.
pretty
That
cool.
was virtual. Were you in the room with him?
No, it was a satellite interview. But he still called me mate.
Oh my God!
That's like saying you and Zeke Arkham are best buddies.
I tell you something.
None
So-
of us are
No,
best
no,
buddies
Jason,
with Zeke.
do you see what he did there?
Oh,
That was a 10-minute buildup for him to drop the line of "I interviewed Hugh Jackman."
yes.
That
Just
was it.
saying.
That's
and
his
he,
whole
and he
premise.
called me mate. You
for
can ask
going
my
into
wife.
that
She saw the
whole
interview.
story.
She knows it's true.
Nobody
Whatever,
cares.
nobody cares.
Nobody.
But it was a
cares.
good movie though.
How
and I
many years
recommend
ago was that?
it.
20.
If you want to go out,
5.
if the gentlemen on either side of me want to do a solid
Oh,
for the women in their
I'm
lives,
going to go see that movie.
they take them to the theater. You'll have a very nice time.
I can guarantee you, I am not seeing that movie.
I will. I
You
will
should
go
see
see it.
it. You're
I
doing
am not
yourself a
seeing that
disservice
movie.
if you don't see it.
I will learn to live with myself. It's
Well,
fine.
It is a good picture. No,
You two can argue after the show.
we talked about that one time that we should do like regular movie reviews on because there's movies
Yeah.
that you and I have gone to see before.
Yeah. Well, you
And then
fall.
Herking got
you
the
fall,
ass that one time because we went to a movie and he didn't go.
Well, and you fall asleep in most movies that we go to.
Wait,
if they
wait.
suck, yeah, then I
Wait,
fall
wait,
asleep.
wait.
I don't know how you fall asleep. Let me ask the
We
let
barely
me
have
ask
time.
the chats because we got some people in the chats.
Right.
Anybody that's seen the movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
The
Good flick.
Very disappointing.
the movie about Marcus Luttrell
Yeah.
and Operation Red
It
Wings.
was not
Had I directed that movie would have been a lot.
Would
more
you
interesting.
fall asleep in that?
No.
Because
No,
we
it
had
was-
like a guy's night, and it was probably like 4 or 5 dudes. We went, met up at B-Dubs, drank beers, ate wings, and then went and watched the movie.
And Dan's sleeping.
And Dan fucking literally, just as he's sitting right here, just close his eyes and just put his head down, and then get an occasional.
Oh, nose, turtle.
I don't know how you fall asleep to a fucking movie where there's a bunch of fucking machine guns fucking going off.
There was some periods in that movie that were not all that entertaining, and so I lost interest.
Oh,
Well,
there we go.
Just saying.
If it's
I
not,
did not fall asleep at the Hugh Jackman movie last night.
if it's not up Dan's alley, then
Song
guess
Sung
what?
Blue,
Oh God,
I highly recommend it. So there you go.
There you go.
be on my list of
Well,
things not to see.
Thank you for that movie review. I'm going to go see it. I will see it.
Anything else happened this weekend?
Nothing.
Exciting night last night.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. Not.
Got up early on Saturday.
Hey, by the way, I'd like to say, since you're not going to, because you typically,
Happy 300th episode.
yeah, thanks, Andrew.
And I will work into that. Don't say it yourself because
Weren't we
you know,
supposed to have some special garments for this particular episode?
these
Well,
two. let me
You told me you were going to procure
You-
such
no.
garments, and you did not.
I do everything else in this show,
Well,
so you actually have to
jumped
do
on
some-
that.
You actually have to.
You
do
said that of your own
He
volition.
remembered when the show was. You got to give him that because I even had to ask. But let me say congratulations to Used Twos because this is their 300th audio episode of this show.
300
And that's
is a
pretty
lot.
cool. 300 is a lot. Yeah.
And I actually kind of like the fact that we're starting it in the new year. We timed that ironically perfectly. We didn't mean to, but it just happened.
By the way, another picture that I highly recommend.
Oh, for
Oh,
fuck's
God.
sake.
300.
Oh, that's the given.
Oh.
That's a great flick.
That
is a great movie.
That
That's
is
a
a
great
great movie.
Though it's
So
all
there you
fake
go.
abs.
If
I
you
just
don't-
want you to know those are all fake abs. Those guys do not have stomachs like that. Those are computer generated abs.
No, they
Just want you to know.
did it. They all did a special workout
No,
to get those abs
No.
before this. They did.
no,
Read up on it.
no. I did.
Read up
Yeah.
on it.
Look, just because you interviewed Hugh Jackman one time, by satellite when he was in Australia.
I know, but
Doesn't mean-
he felt so comfortable and at home with me. He referred to me as mate
because that's what he wanted to do.
You know, these Australians, they don't call to say, any
whatever
Tom, Dick, or Harry mate.
It's a good flick. It's a good flick. And what's it about? 300 Greek Spartans. Is anyone here? Let me just ask you a question.
At
Who's here is Spartan? Let me think here for a second. Not used to's. So
I almost moved to Greece.
did you?
Yeah. My mom was dating a Greek. We almost moved there.
Did you know that Greece
I'm
is
glad we
now
did.
rated? I just read an article. Greece is now the #1 place to move to in the world for some reason. To retire to, I think it is. Seriously.
I'd go.
Now, would I go? Probably not, but whatever. It's fine. But we had a lot going on. Let's try to get into the meat of the show here.
Thank God you weren't born back then,
I know.
because you would have been tossed.
And yeah,
aside.
Jim
Tossed right off the cliff.
Cast
And,
aside.
Right
and
off
Jib,
the cliff.
Ghibli just said Gerard Butler, who is one of my favorite actors. He is my man crush. I'll judge those abs. Don't
Well,
you worry about it.
Let me. So you guys woke up this morning,
No, Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
This is we're well
A day behind.
almost 72 hours into
So we
this.
woke up yesterday morning, and it was an interesting day, wasn't it?
I was actually up at 2:30 Saturday morning.
Peeing.
No, I got up. I went to bed. This was one of those things.
Never mind. I can't have any airtime.
Between us.
What?
And what I want to do.
I'm just telling you how early I was on this. I went to bed Friday night. Boom, went right to sleep. It was like 11:30 midnight. Boom, right to sleep.
Can't afford it.
Wake up like at 2. I'm wide awake. I get up. I come down. I turn the news on, and I'm seeing video of
So you stayed up.
of Venezuela.
I'm laying in bed with the TV on, getting ready to wake up for work at 5:30.
Oh.
And I was like up and down. And all of a sudden I hear like I can't remember who it was. I can't remember which hour slot of Fox News. And I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden I see all the choppers, going across the screen. I was like, oh, what's happening? Well, now I'm awake and I watch it and I was like, oh shit, he fucking did it. He actually fucking did it. And I was shocked.
Well, at first, when the first reports came out, they weren't even sure it was the United States that had gone in there and taken this action.
Well, you were up at 2 and I was probably up at like 4.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the only normal person here. I was asleep,
I wish I was asleep because I feel like shit today.
but it was interesting waking up. It made for a very interesting weekend.
I was
And,
at work all day yesterday, up all night last night, and I wished I would have been asleep. But when I watched the ticker, or what do you call it, the Chiron
On the bottom, yeah.
at the bottom, I was
Well, they
like,
call that the one that they call that a crawl. That's called a crawl. That goes
Okay,
across
all
the
right.
very bottom of the
all
screen.
right, why would I not be shocked that you would correct me? But
Well, I'm just saying there's a Chiron, and then underneath that is the crawl that has all the information that goes.
I'm
across.
talking
So you
about
read
the
that.
Chiron.
Okay, that's the Chiron, the
And
lower
it-
third.
and it was saying, what's his face?
Maduro.
But it's, he's being apprehended. And I'm looking, I'm like I don't have my glasses
no,
on.
your glasses on. It was early.
I could barely see. And I'm like, I'm half asleep. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh shit. There's some big shit happening
There's
right
some
now.
big shit.
It was,
Some
it
big
was,
shit
it was
happening.
very, very interesting. And I have to say, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I am probably most impressed. Take the politics out of it for a second, if you can. I am actually most impressed at the execution, the
Without a doubt.
the lack of any. It seems like any. I don't know the level of casualties. You said that 2 people were reported injured.
I had seen that 2 soldiers were hit, but
I don't know the extent of their injuries, but
non-life threatening.
Okay, so no one died, and we lost no equipment. That is amazing. That amount of coordination, and I'm very, very proud of the fact that those people represent the United States of America.
I mean, to be able to do it and we've got some videos in that, but when they were talking about the time frame, like they were off the ground at like 10:26 or whatever, don't quote me on it, and they were back by like 3:30.
Right.
So like a 5-6 hour mission.
Right.
With a lot of shit happening. a lot of
It looked like. Did you see the picture of Maduro?
Missiles lobbed
Right.
and then fucking
Yeah.
gunfire and everything else. But to get into a compound,
Grab him, load him, go.
and as the people that hate Trump, the big orange man said, he didn't close the door. They bum rushed him and got him.
Well,
But I mean, all those guys in those fortresses or whatever, they've got their little spots. But to be able to get in, get out,
no injuries, no losses, no
And
loss of equipment,
load them up and go.
And now he's in, he's in New York City.
He was getting perp walked all over the place
Oh,
last
dude!
night.
I actually, I
was
used that. I
amazing.
used that yesterday. I was like, dude, they're perp walking the shit out of that guy.
I don't know.
Hilarious.
I don't know. Venezuela has 80 dead so far. Yeah, I'm okay. And I'm no disrespect to the Venezuelans. I'd rather have, as an American, I would rather have 80 dead Venezuelans than 80 dead Americans. So I'm sorry. It's just, I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure they weren't minding their own business. They were probably firing at the Americans, and they probably learned that we don't like that. So
and some of that could have been caused because of the partying that was happening.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing that means the most to me is that the people of Venezuela, by the tens or hundreds of thousands, took to the streets
Mhm.
after this happened to celebrate the removal of that brutal dictator.
Mhm.
To me, that you've got Bernie Sanders coming out with these statements. Kamala Harris said something really idiotic.
Mhm.
Zorhan Mondani is weighing in on this.
Yeah, I saw Zorhan, the child, the boy mayor.
Yeah.
Saw him.
Yeah.
He doesn't like him anymore, but he did like him.
Yeah. It's funny because Maduro was paraded all through his city, New York City, last night. He's in prison in New York City. That cannot be sitting well with Mondani today. So he's out there. But the whole thing. And look, I don't know that I'm on board with the whole 9 yards on this thing.
I can understand that.
The part that I'm not in favor of is that the United States is going to be in charge of Venezuela.
Okay.
That Marco Rubio or Pete Hegseth is going to be running the show there. I don't think that is a good idea.
Here, can I set it up with this first?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
watch some
let's hear what the
clips.
general has
We
to
got
say.
lots of clips.
Yeah, but I mean, before we throw our 2 cents in.
General Raisin Cane,
I love that.
5-star general, chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time. And the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit, but remained flyable, and as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We arrived at Maduro's comp.
Wow. So I wanted to play that because I have seen so much fodder on the social medias, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, of we just went in and murdered people and whatever. I will throw in the fact that he threw in self-defense, but apparently they took a lot more fire than we're ever going to probably know, ever. And if you watched any of that part of the press conference with Trump, where he was like, I wish everybody could see it. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but he was like, it was absolutely amazing just watching it happen. But to have that many, there were way more assets involved in this than there were Osama bin Laden.
Right.
Like so many, like just coordinated efforts. And, you know, he had said earlier, he threw out like 4 different types of fucking airplanes.
Yeah.
And unmanned drones. But like some of them I knew, like I know how to like categorize aircraft, but there were 2 that I didn't. I was like, oh shit, I got to look that up. Like there was like an EA whatever, 219 or whatever the number was at the time. I didn't know what those were, but they had Ospreys up in the air as well. Like it was a huge fucking undertaking to get this, and obviously it was coordinated, and they had been waiting. They've been waiting for a good weather window, and when it came time, which will bring us to a huge thing that I think all of us will agree on, I believe, is where the Democrats are like, well, he didn't ask Congress. He doesn't fucking have to.
I'm glad he didn't ask
I hear
Congress.
Ocasio-Cortez has really been out of shape.
I'm glad he didn't.
Was denied the opportunity to give her approval to this mission.
And I've got a great clip with that.
I mean, here's the deal. For if you care about our soldiers and our troops, I'm glad he didn't brief Congress beforehand, because personally, I don't trust a lot of the people in
Absolutely
Congress.
not.
And that's exactly what he said. He goes,
they
leak.
That's not directed only at Democrats. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I do not trust a lot of the people in Congress.
It's because they leak.
They leak.
And it doesn't matter what side they're on.
Right.
A lot of them are old and they just leak.
Because it's not just the congressman that knows. I mean, the staff will know, and there's 4 or 5 people there, maybe 3 or 4. And, it will get out, and that puts our soldiers, our troops in danger.
Absolutely.
For what reason? You can notify Congress, which they don't have to. We're going to cover that with some clips here. But for what reason? Just so that you feel like you're important. I mean, the president is commander in chief. He can order strikes, and it is what it is. You may not like it. I would ask a question before we get into all the clips we have. But unless you were on Facebook or on social media back in the day when the Obama administration didn't capture Muammar Gaddafi, and Libya has oil. Just newsflash, they have oil. And unless I saw you out saying how illegal that was and Obama didn't have the right to do it, please just kindly shut the fuck up right now. That's it.
Isn't it interesting how so many of these individuals who were at the No Kings protest, which is not ancient history, by the way. I was only a couple of months ago.
I just got my shirt.
That a lot of these individuals are now coming out in support of Maduro.
No kings, but dictators are okay.
Yeah.
You don't like kings, but dictators are okay. Or unless it's our king, which is another funny thing. All kings are bad, but our kings are better than your kings.
But going back, talking about the leaks and Congress not being...
Here you go. There's one picture.
Well, yeah,
right there.
I mean, look at the pre-made... It's amazing how quickly those pre-made signs...
That was...
Okay, look at this. Look at this sign. I want you to see this. Now, I want you to focus on... See, most people just read the no blood for oil like some simpleton in the chats. But what does that say on the bottom there?
Party for Socialism and Liberation. And
so they have the pslweb.org, and you can go there and read. These are the people. Now, it's amazing. I saw...
Which is a front organization for communists.
Well, not even a front organization. Just a flat organization for communists. But I saw... This is Cincinnati, because this was in the Inquirer, I believe. It's a good thing that lady has her N95 mask on. I don't want her to get the COVID. But
and her buddy over there.
Yeah,
the green
that's right. But you got to have your safety. But at the end of the day, these exact signs were all over the United States.
Yeah.
These
Saw them in Boston.
All over the United
Saw them
States.
in New York.
Isn't that weird?
Saw them in California.
That's really organic. Don't
Exact
you think?
same sign.
But that's really an organic protest. Don't
and
you
then I saw a citizen journalist who was out at one of these
curious
protests.
what Obama had. I'm just, again, I'm doing multiple things over here. Obama had congressional approval for that, though. We have protocols for the strikes.
Okay.
Well, but he didn't have to have those.
No, he didn't have to have those. So my point is, I want to see.
And Congress can do that as well.
Did you say at that time, Mr. Political, did you say that was wrong? Were you out in the street saying, what was it? No kings? Or what are we saying now? No war for oil. Because that was a war for oil. So were you out on the street saying no war for oil? Were you pounding the keyboard? Because that was before OnlyFans, so you probably weren't pounding something else. But were you out there saying that was wrong? Because unless you were, then please see my above statement. Shut the fuck up.
But getting back to not briefing the
Congress,
the members of Congress before this happened, there was and I'm not going to submit this into evidence for the show today, but there was a list.
I'm going to let this
that was published earlier today.
I'll let this guy play too.
Okay.
After you're done.
Yeah, but there was a list that was published earlier today of people who are members of Congress who are allegedly getting kickbacks or were getting kickbacks from the Maduro government.
I just saw before we started.
There's a number of Republican names on there. The list is populated. I'd say 90% Democrats.
Have we verified that list?
That's why I'm not going to use it, because I've not been able to.
I heard there's
verify
a list. I heard the same thing right before we started.
How accurate or truthful that list is.
I've seen the list, and some remarkably familiar names are on it.
Absolutely, but I'm not gonna put it out there because I don't know if it's true. But I'm just saying.
I would like to verify
that this is just another element of it, and for good reason.
We'll look into it though. And
Congress was not briefed ahead of time, but Marco Rubio provided that briefing this morning,
right,
to lawmakers. They're not going to be happy about. And by the way,
I didn't see any.
Marco Rubio was on all the Sunday shows today,
did a great job,
and just mowed them down when they were asking questions about, well, why didn't you get this terrorist, and why didn't you get that narco terrorist, and get this one? And look, if you're going to come after Marco Rubio, you've got to be, and you would think they would know this by now.
God, you go 18 different ways.
I'm just saying, you would think that they would know this by now.
To be fair to the comment somebody made that he had congressional approval. No, he briefed Congress. Obama did brief Congress on the situation with Gaddafi in Libya, but he did not seek congressional approval before intervening.
He asked him.
So,
or not asked him. He just said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do."
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just asking. You don't need to be an elected official because you're pretty good at pontificating here. You could just tell me. I'll take it. So I'm sorry means no, you didn't. Okay, great.
I know where you're going, and that's
you didn't. Thanks. No was the answer I was looking for. So thank you for playing. Come back, mix soon, and fuck off.
I know where you were going, Dan, but I want to play this first before you went there because I have clips of Rubio and
from the Globe are asking today, does the president have the right to do what he did in Venezuela this morning? President Trump okayed an operation to capture Nicolás Maduro and his wife and to basically take over Venezuela in the short term until they get their government up and running. Does he have to go to Congress and ask for an act of war to be declared? Does he have to go to Congress and say, I want to take military action. Can I get your authority? Well, the answer is no. Don't take my word for it. Listen to Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Adicott.
Any president can order the military to do anything at any time that they want to. That's cooked right into the Constitution. It's a shared ability to wage war. Congress has the authority to declare war, but the president, as a commander-in-chief, has the right to also make war. And in fact, in our history of 250 years, most of our wars, Congress hasn't been involved in it. It's simply been the president using presidential authority under Article 2 to go to war.
When's the last time we asked Congress? Was it Iraq?
Last time that Congress made a declaration of war was World War II. Now,
wow. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The declaration of war under their power under Article 1. But what Congress does sometimes is they'll do this authorization for use of military force. It's not a declaration of war. It's just an authorization for the president to use military force, because it's kind of a hybrid and a kind of a CYA, because if things go bad, they'll say, well, we didn't declare war.
Right.
We just authorize you to take all actions necessary that you want to do. But that's not in the Constitution. That's just Congress doing an authorization for the use of military force. They're kind of giving the president a stamp of approval for what he's doing and what he wants to do under Article 2.
But he doesn't need that? He doesn't need that?
No, not at all. In fact, most of our wars, the president hasn't. No. In fact, most of our wars in our history, the commander in chief has not gone to Congress and got an authorization for use of military force. They just haven't. It's more of a modern development.
There is no necessity for a declaration of war by Congress. There is no necessity for the president to go and ask their approval. If they're against it, they can just cut off the funding. Now you know. Any questions? Any comments?
So there you go. The great Joe Pags clearing things up on that issue.
Well, I've seen so many things on social media, obviously. Sitting there, hitting TikTok, hitting Facebook, hitting Instagram.
Yep.
And all the libtards are, well, he can't fucking do that.
So he can. It's been established that he can. Yeah. So that argument's false.
It's being uneducated. It's being uneducated on how this shit fucking works.
But that gets to my point. I don't know that they want to be educated, number one. And this is, look, let's just cut through the chase here. This Trump cannot do anything right that they would ever approve of. That's just it. No ands, ifs, or buts. Okay. If Trump did it, it's wrong. I get it. I understand. My point here is you're being very hypocritical because, as I said before, unless you were against it then, but now you're or for it then and against it now, you're being a hypocrite. Look, you can say, I wish he didn't do this or I wish he didn't do that. Looks like now we're seeing reports, people said, well, we're running Venezuela. I saw George Stephanopoulos did a long piece today. Said, well, we're running. Actually, we're not. They're the lady that's there. I don't know her title, but there's somebody else that's assumed power in Venezuela, and Trump's issued her a warning that she better
that's the vice president.
That she better let the people, have a say in what happens in Venezuela.
I just made an executive decision.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, keep talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought usually that
I did it on behalf.
Okay. But my point is look, I think this is overall, considering this is not a war, it doesn't look like we're invading Venezuela. This was a military operation. We've captured Maduro, who had outstanding indictments, warrants for his arrest. Might I remind you, some in the crowd might not understand this, guess who had at least a $25 million bounty on Maduro? Who put that there?
That would have been Joseph Robinette Biden.
Wow. How did that happen? So does Trump get to collect that? I don't know. But the point is that we're talking about a guy that, I get both sides here. I can kind of see, do we want to be involved in going out and arresting every bad guy in the world? Probably not. But the fact of the matter is the Chinese earlier that day, within hours before Maduro was captured, the Chinese were having dinner with him, praising him, announcing new cooperations, alliances between China and Venezuela. And that is not in the United States' best interest.
Well, their oil extraction infrastructure had fallen into such a state of disrepair.
It's been destroyed.
That's what China was there for.
Now, Cuba
was to cut a deal with Maduro,
right,
to get their oil infrastructure back into shape, so that could facilitate the transfer of more oil to China.
Well, and
there was actually a couple of tankers from China that were en route to
did they turn around?
Venezuela. There are reports that one has turned around, the other one's sort of lingering out there. I guess waiting to see what's going to happen.
Let me ask you a question. You know who's really shitting a brick is Cuba, because Cuba was being propped up by this oil money that was coming into Venezuela, and now that looks like that's going away.
Did you see that Cuba's president fucking talking shit? Oh, this is ridiculous, whatever, and like he turns and like looks to North America or like to Florida, like they need to let him go.
No, they're not going to let him go.
It's a piece of Cuba is a fucking piece of shit fucking country.
It's a beautiful country, but
Or-
sadly, the
Is
people
it-
do not
Yeah, the
possess.
leadership there's-
Yeah, the people do not possess the ability to
No.
overthrow their
It's
government
fucking done this.
because that's what communism
And like
does.
I said it earlier, Cuba has done this since fucking the Cuban War crisis.
Can I
Or
point
Cuban
out
Missile
something else?
Crisis.
You mean they're not feeling the warm embrace of collectivism
They don't.
They are, but
They're
it's
not
not
kidding.
the way they thought.
per Zorhan Mondani?
No, but
The
you know,
big-
here's the thing, and I was going to get into this a little bit, but I travel a lot this weekend. I was listening to Old Time Radio, one of my favorite stations, and it plays all the old radio programs from the 40s and 50s.
I thought they were going to say they played Neil Diamond.
No, they did
Sorry.
not. But it's funny because they leave the commercials, and one of the shows is "I Was a Communist." It has I forget the guy's name, and he was an undercover FBI spy in the 50s, and he was uncovering communists. So it used to be in this country, it was a bad thing to be a communist. You know, it was not acceptable, socially acceptable to say I'm a communist.
Are you now, or
Right.
have you ever been a member
Right.
of the Communist Party?
But here's the deal. I am frustrated because look, you can vote in communism, but you know what you can never do?
Can't get rid of it.
You can't vote it out.
Yeah.
Because once they get in power, they take away your rights. Cuba, Venezuela, all over the freaking world. And I don't understand. We have now in New York City, now that is a state, not a country, but you know, Zoran or Zohan or whatever, Mandami, he is a Democrat. You know, we don't say communist, right? So we couch it. We're Democrat socialists.
I say communist.
I say communist.
He's a
but they don't
communist.
say
Yeah.
communist. I'm a Democrat socialist. That sounds cooler. But you're not going to get, you know, if he was leader, if New York was a self country like the size of Cuba, you think he'd go out of power? Or you think he'd consolidate power and hold on to it forever?
Oh, no way. No, he'd be dictator in chief. And you know,
Right.
what was he, 38 years old, 37,
right.
something like that?
So, I mean, I really think that
yeah,
we
next
need,
30, 40 years.
but
Mondani.
we've got a big problem because the youth, the younger people, think this shit is cool. They're like, you know, they've given
Yeah,
up trying.
sure.
It's hard. Things are hard out there. I get it. I do actually have empathy, but the
Well, that's an
solution-
indictment on our education system
It
that they
is.
don't know
Well,
about
they-
the failures of socialism and communism
Oh,
throughout world history.
Dan, how can you expect that during an education day of education at school, when you're teaching children that there's probably limitless number of sexes,
Mhm.
and you have to go down every which way to watch
Well,
pornography
Proper pronoun usage
and
is very
proper
important.
pronoun
Yeah.
usage and
Yeah.
everything else? How in the world would you expect to teach history?
Well,
That's my question.
I don't know. As long as it's politically correct and serves the purpose of Black Lives Matter and the 1916 project,
Diversity, blah
Yeah.
blah blah,
Yeah, all that bullshit. Yeah.
Okay.
well, here's a very easy way.
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
There we go.
thing. Nicolás Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States. And the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy. But instead, he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
So there you go. And that's why Marco Rubio is so great, because
he's doing a great job.
He lays it out as plainly as you can possibly lay it out. And I think that's a lot, what he said right there. I think a lot of what he said right there gets lost in all the back end. And this is going to be going on for days and weeks, all the back and forth on this. But Maduro had his opportunity. I mean, let's not forget, he is not a legitimate leader of Venezuela. I heard all this talk today about, they invaded the sovereign country and took out the democratically elected leader, and all this bullshit. No, he's a criminal thug under indictment. He's essentially the head of a drug cartel.
Yes.
That is flooding the United States with drugs. That's why we've been blowing the boats out of the water. Trump tried to give him an off-ramp to where he can, and like Marco Rubio said it, he could be kicking it on the beach right now in some very nice location and not have to worry about the thing for the rest, for the rest of his life. And, the United States will be undertaking operations to see that things in Venezuela. I mean, don't forget, Venezuela was at one time a very wealthy country, thriving with all the oil. They've got more oil in Venezuela,
yes,
than they do in Saudi Arabia or anywhere in the Middle East.
Well,
it is amazing the amount of resources they have.
You can vote in communism once. Mm-hmm. And there's no easy way to vote it out, because it just doesn't happen, because they assume power and then they consolidate power, and everyone understands that the last election Maduro was voted out, but they didn't count that. They never certified. They ignored the vote of the people. It was estimated. I've seen reports as much as 75%. 75% of people vote in Venezuela. Venezuelans voted against him.
Mm-hmm.
What my fear is, and I'll be legit. My fear is I hope the country doesn't spiral into some sort of, and I don't know that we'd let that happen per se. And I don't want us to get too knee deep in this, but I don't want to see it spiral into just a big bloody civil war there.
Well, like Somalia, where you have a bunch of drug lords that are running around taking, it's claiming some territory here, an oil field over there, a refinery, here, all that kind of stuff. I mean,
they have a lot of childcare facilities over there. They're really good at that.
One of the funniest things I saw was
the Leering
Center.
Yeah, really Maduro's going to come to the United States and move to Minnesota and open a daycare center.
They're calling it now Mogadishu versus Mogadishu.
Look, I just, I've seen people say, well, why doesn't he go after Putin? Okay, well, Venezuela doesn't have. Let's be fair. I mean, it's not apples to oranges.
Well, this is a way of going after Putin.
It is in a roundabout way, and it's a very. How would you like to be the Chinese right now? How'd you like to be the Chinese? The Chinese have invested. I don't know how many billions, maybe, or millions for sure, but the Chinese are very, very vested in Venezuela, and they want to get a foothold. They wanted to have a military cooperation with Venezuela, and in our hemisphere. Used to be we had a standing rule, not in our hemisphere.
Well, think about that. He had a meeting with a Chinese delegation the day before this happened.
Hours.
So those Chinese dudes are sleeping in probably a very nice hotel in Caracas,
probably.
And they wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to boom, 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 and they're looking out the window. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And so when they go back and do their debriefing with Xi, I mean, how do you think that's going to play?
Well, Xi has already said he's demanding the release.
They going to take notice of this or not?
Xi's demanding the release of Maduro, and I want to see how this affects or plays out with U.S.-Chinese relations. I mean, it's interesting, but I do respect the fact that, it seems to me that the majority of Venezuelans are happy about this. The fact that they see an opportunity to get their country back. Whether this plays out, I hope it does. Now, is it for oil? Yeah. I mean, pretty much sure it's for oil. I mean, I'm damn well sure it's for, I'm sure
Absolutely.
oil had a
Just
lot
about
to do with
every
it.
war that ever happens anywhere in the world.
It's not for
It's for
It's
oil.
not for
Thank you.
coconuts, but
I was having this conversation earlier today.
is that a bad thing? I mean, look, let's be fair. The oil that our American companies had facilities, infrastructure down there that was taken by the when what's his face Chavez came in.
I think ExxonMobil took the biggest hit of all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's their property that was stolen from them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just say that I'm impressed with the speed and the swiftness, the lack of casualties on our side, and the fact that it doesn't seem like we've invaded Venezuela. We have not invaded, to my knowledge. That could change overnight.
Well, let me ask you this question: as we sit here right now, do you get the sense that we are at war? Because that is what so many on the left are basing their arguments on, is that Trump has gotten us into a war with Venezuela.
No.
And I do not have that sense right now that we are at war.
I mean, this is like smaller than Grenada. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Remember when we went into Grenada? We actually invaded Grenada. I mean, it wasn't that difficult, but we went into the island of Grenada with troops.
And Grenada is very nice now.
I have not been there.
Actually, my son was there about a year or so ago.
Was he?
And he said it was lovely.
Oh, I'd like to go.
So there you go.
We should plan a trip. But
here's the thing. We were in and out. Yeah, we had to fuck up some infrastructure.
For 3 hours? Was it 3 hours? Did it even last 3 hours?
No, it was less than 3 hours, I'm sure.
Lifted off at 10:26 and
I was done Caracas time. It was 2 a.m, and then we were back by 3:30.
Yep.
Had some tea.
Call it a good 4 hours.
Solid 4 hours. Back
4 hours.
That's not a war. But we had the signs printed.
We fucked some shit up, but we fucked some of their infrastructure up just so that way they couldn't fucking get us.
Right. And so
on the way up.
Look, I mean,
and guess what? We're gonna rebuild it.
Oh,
we're gonna fix it.
Here's what I would love to see happen.
Which is where he says, hey, we're gonna be here. We're not leaving. We're not leaving it. We're not fucking it up and then just leaving and being gone. We're gonna make it better than we found it.
Well,
but nobody wants to listen to that part.
What I would love to see happen, and I think would be best for the Venezuelan people, was obviously
Sorry, I'm getting fired up over here.
Well, let's just say that they elect or put into power one of the duly elected people that won the last election. Okay, and then those people open up the Venezuelan economy back to, let's be fair, they're swimming in oil.
Yes, they are.
That can benefit all of the people of Venezuela.
They're swimming in oil, but they're not actually swimming in oil.
Well,
they're floating. They're floating on oil because they're not pumping it the way they should be.
And they can't, because communism doesn't allow.
And guess what? Guess what? Daddy Trump is going to make sure
it's capitalistic. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that.
They're like, oh my God, Trump's coming in. He's going to steal all their oil.
Look,
oh my
if
God.
it was, to be quite fair,
guess what? They owe us oil because there were signed documents,
signed leases that
they owed us,
right,
and they did not.
Well,
and they did not keep up with their infrastructure on the oil pumps.
You want to know?
So we're going to come in and fucking fix it.
You want to cut to the chase? If let's just say this: if Obama was in office or Biden, and had done this, let me tell you, you know what us three would not be doing right now? We wouldn't be on this program today saying, no war for oil, this is illegal, blah, 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 because we hate Biden. I don't think we would be doing that. We'd be saying, hey, man, I'm impressed. They got in, they got out. No injuries on our side. Seems to be quick, precise, surgical, yada, yada, yada. Okay? The same cannot be said on the other side, because you just hate the fact that it's Donald Trump. Because if Biden had done this, you would be singing his praises.
I sent Jason a cut from CNN, a CNN clip that is from, I want to say 2017 or 2018, I forget, but it was a few years ago. And again, a not ancient history. And they were talking about Maduro, and he had just won another election. Yeah. And they were talking about how Trump did not take him out because he wanted to make nice with Putin.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
So, I mean, if Trump, on one hand, if Trump doesn't take out Maduro, then well, he's doing it because he.
But
wants,
on the other hand,
because he loves dictators, and he looks up to a guy like Maduro. He wants to be a and they said that they said that he wants to be a dictator just like Maduro. But now that he actually does it and brings him, before the bar of justice here in the United States,
he's a bad guy.
Yeah, it's all illegal.
So can he win? No.
Can who win?
Trump.
Oh, no, not with the left.
No,
not with the media.
I mean,
not with the left, the left stream media in this country. Absolutely not.
So, do you just, Jason? I know you're in the midst of typing a long diatribes, but do you really believe that had Biden been in office and done this while he was in office, and claimed his own $25 million bounty, that we would be on this show criticizing Joseph Biden and this exercise? No. Why?
If they had pulled this off in this manner, but
right.
it's just so against what Biden would actually do.
I understand that, but the point of the matter is it's not that they're against the policy or the action. They're against the fact that Trump did it because they hate Trump.
Well, look at how big of an action it was. Which, I mean, Trump does everything big. He literally went and kidnapped a president.
I know, it's pretty
of
cool.
a country and his wife.
Yeah, and his wife.
But she is implicated. Yeah. But what people are forgetting is they were indicted in 2020, so they were fugitives by all rights. So, and he's not the sitting president; he's just the anointed president.
He's the dictator.
So Trump said, "You know what? Fuck it. We're done."
Well,
we're done because everyone was bitching about the narco boats. Hey, we're not bringing fentanyl back into the country. Right. Boom, boom, boom. All the fucking leftist Democrat liberals were like, "Oh yeah, you're killing fishermen." Blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. Here, suck a bag of dicks. No, they were fucking
whole bag.
They were fucking drug dealers,
right?
Or drug, mules, whatever. But Trump actually looked at it and was like, "We're getting a plan together."
Well, did you hear the latest?
And we're grabbing him. Hold on. Let me go on this track because I've got a rant here and I got a rant here.
Get it out of your system.
But no, it's just fucking frustrating because everything that I've seen since this happened, while I was at work yesterday, I'm like, oh, my fingers are doing the fucking talking.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he did what needed to happen.
Did what needed to be done.
But what I loved about the press conferences, and when Pete Hegseth said he effed around and found out,
right?
You got many options. You didn't do them. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Okay, cool. We're coming to get you. Pulled it into a law enforcement issue. It's not a military issue. This is a law enforcement issue. Military just assisted. Oh yeah, it's gonna get bad.
I'm just reading his stupid
comments. But the military assisted on like 100,000-fold. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a DEI or DEA and FBI raid like that? No, absolutely not. But guess what? They got in, they got out, they got the guy, and guess what? He was indicted in 20.
Right. Well, there was,
and here we are in 2025, and now he's finally going to go stand trial. Now, what about Donald Trump?
26
or 26 now.
I hate when people do that.
I'm just saying.
That's I know. No, I know how he works. But
there was a bounty on his head. Like we done. This wasn't like this guy that came out of the blue. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. There's a reason that Joseph Biden put a bounty on this guy's head. So let's remain consistent and let's just say, I would have so much more respect.
And we could actually say this is a bipartisan issue.
Right. I would have so much more respect if someone says, you know what? I hate the fact that Trump is the guy that did it, but it needed to be done. And I respect the fact that our military went in, did it with the least amount of casualties to our side, and got in and got out. We're not an occupying force. We're not there invading Venezuela. It's not a war. I'm sorry your signs were pre-printed, but you know what? At the end of the day, this was a military operation. Doesn't seem to be that we have, I mean, I could be wrong, but I have not seen that we have occupying troops invading Venezuela. So I get it. You don't like it, but the reason you don't like it is because it's Trump. Just have the balls, have the honesty to say that, and don't couch it in all this bullshit.
How about
couching it in?
How about look at the videos of the amount of Venezuelans that are so fucking happy about it?
Happy as can be.
Absolutely.
Partying in the streets. They're burning more shit down than the fucking military fucking bomb.
I saw one where they knocked down a statue of Maduro and they had a giant pipe and they were hitting him right in the dick. Knocked the statue over. And they're not getting run over by armored vehicles, which is nice. And so they can go out and demonstrate these things. I think an interesting component of this whole thing is,
I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. Don't get me wrong, because there is so much corruption there.
Yeah.
But the people, the general population is absolutely emphatic about how this shit went down.
What's the over under on the number of drug boats we're going to see blown out of the water over the next 7 to 10 days?
Ooh, over under.
Will it be 0?
I don't know if it's going to go down to 0, but it's going to go pretty low.
Maybe
think.
1.
I would think
1 or 2.
I mean, I think your over under has got to be 1 or 2. I'll take the over. I think they'll still do it.
I don't think the drug operations have come to a complete stop.
No, it's definitely not. That's why I took 2. Yeah. It's not stopped, but they're definitely reconfiguring because, like I said, the government there, and
it's not transitioned yet. The bad people.
But for God's sake,
if when I say government,
aren't you thinking twice about this?
Yeah, I would. What is it?
I would have thought about it fucking 4 weeks ago.
Weeks ago.
I'm like, you want me to captain this boat?
No.
And here's the other thing. This is important too. I saw a post from Elon Musk earlier today that he's got the Starlink up there. So people in Venezuela have been denied internet access. I guess limited internet access, and the government controls everything they can see on the internet. So all they're going to see is, of course, the Maduro propaganda.
Well, Elon Musk, he stepped up.
Yeah, so now they are going to have access to all the internet stuff that you and I have access to.
I thought Musk was a bad guy.
Andrew,
he had dinner with Trump last night.
You said that to me, and I apologize because I did not.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
But how much of a factor is that going to be?
I think
that people are going to have access to the internet and real information other than just the propaganda.
Well, not only access to the internet.
This is what we call rebuilding.
This is going to be able to, they'll have communication. So, I mean, we have a lot of Venezuelans here that had to leave the country because of Maduro. And, those people are probably considering now, obviously, there's a lot. This is not over by a long shot. There has to be, what's now plan B? I hope that there is a thoughtful plan, that there's communications with the vice president that's squawking over there in Venezuela now saying, hey, listen, you either need to hold new elections, fair and free elections, or we're going to come, or the person that won the election, who won the Nobel Peace Prize, I might add.
Did you understand that?
Over the
because
government.
He was asked about that at the press conference on Saturday that happened. That he was supposed to happen 11. It happened about 11:30. But they said, what about, and I forget her name, that, the woman that, and we talked about this briefly.
Machado.
Yeah, on the podcast, how she was spirited out of there. They went under the cover of the night and they got her out of there, put her on a boat, and sent her to where do they do the Nobel Peace Prize? Switzerland or wherever the
Brussels or Switzerland?
I don't know, wherever the hell they do
Nobel.
But they asked her. They said, well, why don't you put? Why isn't she going to be in charge? Because she's the actual duly elected leader of that country, and he said she doesn't have the support. So I think he's protecting her in a way. Yeah. That you can't just have her come back in and run in.
Yeah, you can't throw her run back in
and set up a whole government because she'd probably be assassinated.
Probably
if you've got it, because there's going to be a lot of there's a lot of people.
Did you see the Venezuelan vice president? We need the release of
Maduro.
Well, she said this first. Nicolás and was it Prilla.
The vice president said that?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Like the sitting vice
Yeah.
president. You cannot insert her into that.
No,
and
there
expect
has
her
to be
Well,
has to be a plan.
and that's why everybody's getting all bullshit. They want, like, all the press want a time frame of when you say you're going to run the country. They're not running the country. They're trying to put some fucking order.
Right.
And then you base that order, and then you got your foundation, and then you bring. She's going to come back in, but you got to pull all the bullshit out.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see how that occurs, and I'm just.
I don't know how it works.
You know,
yeah.
the funny thing is the hilarious thing to me is that if people were honest, and they're not. I have seen some Democrats, and I've shared with you some posts. The one Democrat has come out. I forget his name, but he's like, "Look, let's call a spade a spade. This is a good thing for the people of Venezuela."
Oh, John Fetterman?
No, John Fetterman
Yeah.
did say that, but there was others. And the simple fact of the matter is though, by and large, I've seen nothing but opposition from every Democrat leader in this country, whose only thing is Trump bad. So it has to be, if he does it, it's got to be bad. And that's just not honest.
And there was a couple of Democrat leaders who were on some of the Sunday shows, and the CNN actually confronted them with some of the things that they had said in the past about how bad of a guy Maduro is. He needed to be out of there. Got to take him out, with his time for action, all this kind of stuff. And, these are comments that go back 4 or 5 or 6 years. And they confront them with those comments, and they say, well, how does this jive with what Trump did? Well, Trump,
different because Trump did it.
They got all kinds of problems with the way Trump did it.
Yeah, I would like to see, because I'm seeing more and more people post. You guys referenced it.
Is that the list?
This is the list, and I'll be very honest with you.
Do you think that list is accurate? Do you
don't
think
know.
It is true? I don't know if it's true or not.
I would like to see this list be verified, but there's a lot of Republicans on this list, and that there's more Democrats than Republicans, but there's some well-known Republicans.
There's some very
from the
names
state of Kentucky.
I'm very disappointed to see on that list.
Some from the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I can say there's no one from Ohio on this list. But I would like to see this verified, because if true, it's troubling. And
sure it is.
Like I said, I'm happy for the people of Venezuela if this transitions into some sort of free and fair elections for them, and they can get their country, which should be really the most prosperous country in Central and South America. It should be, but because of the fact that they elected communist leaders, got a dictator in there, let the infrastructure go to shit, threw the American companies
and
out,
look at what Trump said during that press conference.
Nationalize
he
their
said
resources.
the people of Venezuela are going to benefit through this.
Right.
He's going to make sure that once the oil gets flowing, because I think they were only at what 17% of capacity. I mean, a minuscule, maybe it was 7%.
I think it was around 7.
Yeah, but a very low number of the percent. He's going to go in there. He's going to make sure the oil production gets cranked up. They're going to be selling oil all over the world. Oh, excuse me, I burped. And then, nice. But what did he say? He said the people of Venezuela are going to benefit from this. He said them first. And then the people who are exiled from Venezuela are going to have the opportunity to go back, and they need to benefit from this as well. The United States is going to benefit. The American companies that have infrastructure over there are going to be made whole. So there's a lot of things that can be.
Can you imagine? Just think about this, because that was
the money 70s. Is going to be ridiculous.
Right, but that was back in the 70s that these contracts were violated, if not later, but not much later. But here's the thing: could you imagine the lawyers that are going to be involved in all this shit?
It's going to be ridiculous.
I mean, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the lawyers are probably chomping at the bit. But like I said, there's a lot of water that's got to go under the bridge here, and this is not done by a long shot. But to say we're in a war with Venezuela, as I see,
we are not. I don't think we're in a war.
And I've seen these. What do you think? Let me ask you guys a question. Because
maybe I'm wrong, and I'll go on record right now.
We're wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong about that,
we're
but
wrong.
I do not think we are at war.
Hey, Jason.
With Venezuela.
Jason, let me ask you a question. I know you're typing it, but I'm going to ask you to do two things at once. What do you guys? What's your opinion? Because I know I'm probably maybe you'll be surprised, but when you see these people protesting, we've seen them all day. We've seen the newspaper, the news out there. The 12 flea bags show up. The news shows up with a camera and shows them. Oh, there's protesters. Let me ask you a question. What do you think of these people? Seriously, what do you think of them?
You are jobless. You're getting paid by just standing out there. Like, you don't have like an actual bi-weekly or monthly paycheck coming in outside of holding a sign. That is printed for you.
Yeah, pre-printed.
Hey, you meet up at this point, you carry this sign. Part of my texting is I'm trying to figure out what international law Trump broke, because that's the
that's the argument. Mondani said that Trump broke international law. Screw that. Screw international law is complete crap.
This actually wasn't even, again, like we said earlier, it wasn't a Trump thing. This was a law enforcement thing.
And these indictments were standing. Trump didn't create these indictments.
These were a federal indictments.
Right. They've been in force for some time.
From 2020, they were indicted.
Right.
And they just apprehended.
Right.
Used the military to assist, which is in the purview of the president. We got one guy just pushing.
Well, but so it wasn't regime change. So you're arguing, and I agree with that. It wasn't regime change. This was a law enforcement
pickup,
extradition of a fugitive that was wanted here in the United States. So is that a bad thing, or because we use the military it makes it bad? I don't understand.
That's what the whole world thinks is, oh my God, holy shit, they brought in a lot of assets. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, a lot of assets.
But we've also lost a lot of the assets because of this fucking guy.
Quite possibly responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans.
I guess where I'm going with this is I used to think
that's where I was getting so fucking pissed off. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. Because he pushes and pushes and pushes, and then he's very passive aggressive.
I put him in timeout for a minute.
Well, but you're talking about the dedication of those individuals who were out on the streets demonstrating.
Well,
and I would like to.
You get paid to hold a sign. Probably get a lunch. I would imagine there's probably like a cold cut lunch or some shit.
I would like to respond to your question with a video
that shit.
that I sent to Jason.
Which one?
And dial up the video of the one with the gal who was being asked the question at the demonstration. Not that one. Keep going.
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to
click on. Oh yeah, no, that's a great video, Marco Rubio from back in the days when he was a senator. Not that one. That's Kamala Harris saying something stupid.
I can't remember where.
A lot of videos.
Wait. Could you be more specific?
We have a shit ton.
I know. I sent him a ton of videos, but that is not the one.
Which one are you wanting?
This is the one where the gal's out demonstrating, and the guy and they're demonstrating about we need to take in all the Somalis. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah, this
I knew it was close. I just didn't know where.
This demonstrates your average protester.
Yeah, your average protester and how dedicated they really are to the cause. I love this. This is great. You got to listen to the audio on this. Here we go. One more and I'm out of here. Hit it. There we go. Now we're going. Here we go.
What? I just think that there's a lot of bad things going on in Somalia, and we should be taking people in war-torn countries in.
We should be taking them in. We're trying to get people today to sign up to take in a Somali migrant. Would you be able to do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I could or not. I don't live in New York.
Well, that's okay. Where do you live?
Massachusetts.
We could send them to Massachusetts if that's all right. Could we get your name, email address, and then how many you'd be able to take in?
I couldn't do that without talking to my husband first.
I might be open to it,
You might be open to it.
but I would want to have more information first.
Okay. Could we just get your information
No,
just in
'cause
case you?
Only because I don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm Matt Miller.
Yeah. No.
But you know who they are,
But I do it through an organization.
Okay. President Trump says he's stopping immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
We need immigration as a country. It's insane the arbitrary stops that he's putting in on all these countries.
You think America should accept in third world immigrants? He shouldn't stop
We
it.
always have. We should.
Let me ask you, we're trying to find people to take in a migrant from Somalia. Would you be able to give us just your email and how many you would like to take?
I wouldn't be available to do that at this time.
You wouldn't be available?
No. I live in Michigan. I can't do that right now.
I live in
I
Michigan.
mean, we could send them to Michigan if that's all right. We're just trying to get, you don't want to do it?
Not at this time.
So there you go.
So
It's so terrible.
it's a fucking perfect
that we
goddamn
don't allow
example.
these Somalis to come into the country. Trump sucks so bad, and we need to let them in.
How about your house?
Well,
can I
how
send
many
you
would you like to take in?
Oh, no, me.
Oh, well,
Yeah, me.
that's
Oh,
a different
oh,
story.
Well, you remember the video? You remember the video we showed with the Mexicans with the border, and the lady's like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I think they definitely should be here."
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was like, "Oh hey, I've got
yeah,
like,
they are. That's right. He pulls the van up.
Here's Jose.
and all of a sudden
He
there's
likes
like,
teenage girls.
but there's 7 of them jump out of the fucking van. She was
Yeah.
like, "Well, no, I didn't mean now."
Yeah, and Juan's got to go to the
Everyone
bathroom
is
really bad.
easy to
Can
fucking say.
you go in there and take a dump?
Everyone's easy to say. Yes,
Exactly like Martha's Vineyard when they showed up there, right?
Oh shit,
When
that
they-
was the
That was exactly like Martha's Vineyard. But that's just my point in asking about the protesters. Look, I used to think, and maybe I'm just getting old, but I used to think, look, they just have a difference of opinion with us, and they agree, or they think that America, we want with the same thing, the best for America. But I really am doubting that now. I really think, the left has gotten so loony, so crazy. And I'm like, I don't know that we really can, and I don't mean anything nefarious by this, but it's hard to be in a civil union with these people because they just never stop. It's never enough.
Yeah.
They never stop. They never let it go. They lost the election. Trump is president, but they can't let that go. So they're still just yammering. Everything sucks. Everything he does suck. And we're going to fight until, you guys just finally say, screw it, and give the petulant children that they are their way just to make them shut up. And I'm really tired of it.
There's no common cause. There used to be a time when we all wanted to get to that same destination, greatness for America. And with America first, whatever is good for America is good. But we had different ideas about different ways, different routes of how to get there. But we would wind up in the same place.
Well,
this is actually
now we don't wind up in the same
I don't
place
think so
anymore.
either, right?
No,
we don't.
now we wind up in two
totally different
polar
places.
opposites.
Do do you realize, like, back when Abraham Lincoln times,
Abraham Lincoln times,
and we had the two different parties, they wanted you to hate each other, right?
Right.
They wanted you to hate each other. And then all of a sudden things changed and things started to kind of intermix, but then you had like your outliers. Then you went this way, then you went that way. Jill and I just literally sat and watched a documentary, and it was amazing to see. I realized how much I didn't know, but they wanted you to hate each other.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking civil war, just civil war shit. It's all the politics. It took forever to get kind of dialed in. All right, we need to get better. And then all of a sudden, guess what? It's like a rubber band effect. Every time it gets close, then it goes away. And then it seems like it's exponential when it goes away on each side.
Well, let's. I know we're winding down here. Somebody asked a great question. I don't know. Was it Falk? And I'm gonna. I guess we could kind of, maybe we didn't discuss this, but it is the new year. We just had New Year's. It's the 4th. What? I'll ask both of you. What are your resolutions for the coming year?
I typically don't make New Year's resolutions.
You're a great guy. Next.
I'm just saying, I don't.
That makes it easy.
That's
I've had Jason. Jason's had a moment to ponder his. Jason, what is your resolution for the year? Because it is time to think. We have the rest of the year to be ourselves, but this is when you're supposed to slow down and kind of reflect and say, "What's your resolution?" Do you have one?
Recently married and got a stepdaughter, so trying to do better with the family.
Excellent. It's great. I am going to try, and I'm going to fail miserably.
To not eat.
No, to not eat. Just got a pizza oven. I told you guys. It's fucking game on, man. It's like, oh, and an air fryer. Did I tell you?
I want actually I
I've
do
got an air fryer.
I've got a second resolution
What's that?
is that we have a team building exercise on
on
your
snowmobiles.
sleds, on your sleds
That is fine.
up in Michigan.
That is fine.
and we're gonna eat wood fired pizza.
Wood fire. No, it's not wood. I'm not putting wood in there. Shut up, Dan. But anyway,
That's how you do it.
I am going to try. I'm going to try to have some patience, but it's going to be really hard because I got to be honest with you. I am done being nice to liberals. I can't handle it.
It's tough.
It's not. I don't fundamentally think we want the same thing for this country. I think that it's their way or the highway.
And we could do a whole show just talking about that.
I really think we
You
kind
know?
of should. So I'm
Yeah.
going to try, but I already can tell you
Both you
it
get your
probably
calendars out.
won't
We'll figure
last-
out.
It
what
won't
we do
last
this-
nearly a week. I probably won't even last a day. I'll be done here.
I'd be impressed if you last a week.
Well, I mean, I just want to try. I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to try to understand their point of view. I just want to put myself. I want to take my head, shove it so far up my ass that I can't see, and try to figure out a liberal point of view because I just don't understand
You're like
how they fucking think.
You're like, oh, that one polyp. That made
I mean,
sense.
I mean,
That made
seriously.
sense.
No, I'm not going to let go of anger. Anger's great. I like the anger. Keeps me warm. Probably going to give me an aneurysm, but that's all right.
Well, I'm gonna play our Murphy engraving real quick, and then hopefully
And I'd like to lose 10
between
pounds.
you two, we can figure out
And
a
I'd
day
like to fix
where
my
we're gonna go
shoulder.
next.
I'm going to fix
But,
my shoulder.
Just give us a
Fix my snowmobile.
breather because Cincy just put my blood pressure through the roof.
That was
for
funny how
God's
you
sake.
got off of it.
Hi, everyone. Dan Carroll here. Time to tell you about a great new sponsor for the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. It's Murphy Engraving. Murphy Engraving is the place to go for your business, industrial, and personal engraving needs. Take a look at the Murphy Engraving page on Facebook, and you're going to see all kinds of unique items that really seem to take on a life of their own because they've been customized with an image, a name, or a logo, and all of it just really beautifully done. The acrylic sports awards that light up are especially creative and very cool. The customized bottles of bourbon, those are my personal favorite. And wait till you see what they can do with items that are made out of wood. The next time you want to recognize someone special or you're looking for that one-of-a-kind gift, you'll be glad you checked out Murphy Engraving. And a bonus, you're supporting a local family-owned business run by brothers Brian and Kevin, who is a lifetime firefighter and Air Force vet. At Murphy Engraving, they turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and at Murphy Engraving, we are American made.
I'm sorry. I'm somebody misunderstood me. I wasn't looking for your suggestions of what I should do for my resolution. So you can go fuck yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly certain that you're blocked.
Is it this one? How about
I'm fairly
you stop
certain
seeing
that.
your neighbors as enemies?
Yeah, stop seeing your neighbors as
Stop
enemies.
fueling the
I-
hate with your social media
Okay,
accounts.
so feel it. But how do you know my social accounts if you're blocked? I mean, because I did block you, so you can. Here's the deal. So if you don't, here's the funniest thing. So this gets back
See,
to
it's
being.
like a tit for tat thing.
Wait. No. Hold on a second. I want to just mention this because he won't see this.
No,
He
this is
doesn't
why I got
understand this.
mad.
No, I'm not pissed off yet. But here's the thing.
I am.
513. You do whatever you want to do on your social in your life. You do it, and I can tell you this: have at it.
Knock
I
yourself
don't care.
out.
Knock yourself
All
out.
day, baby.
But where do you get your rocks off? Where do you get your freaking balls off saying what I should do? Like, who the hell are you to come on me and say, well, you should be on your social media? I wasn't even following you. Well, then how do you know? So how do you know what I say and what I do? And what business is it of yours what I or Dan or Jason or anyone says? You control yourself. Now, I didn't look for you. Incorrect. I said, what's his name? Because you've made comments on here before, because apparently you're stalking what I'm saying online. So, and where I'm going. So I've said, you know what? The best way to take care of that little stalker action, which I find creepy, but what you do in your own time is your business. I just remove you from the equation. But my point is, I'm going to try to have some patience to understand how people like you think. I said it wouldn't last long, and it was approximately 2 minutes. There you go.
That commercial was like a minute and 30.
You made me
You
break my goddamn resolution.
Like Nostradamus over there. You
did
called
say
that
it
one.
wasn't gonna
You
last.
saw into the future.
I mean, what the Jesus Christ. But I'm not going to go on some, that's like me going on Dan's page or Jason's page and saying, you know what you should do is you should be more this, or you do you, man. You do you.
All day, baby.
All day. Live and let live. Just fucking stay out of my business. Done. Good. I'm all good.
This was a fucking great.
Or does that sound arrogant? I'm sorry. Was that arrogant? Arrogant,
I mean,
sanctimonious?
anything you could
fucking
cough,
says.
you could cough and it would sound arrogant, Andrew.
Fucking asshole.
But I will say this was a great first one of the year with all three of us here.
That was fun.
I mean, obviously the
Had a
news
whole range of
news
emotions.
gave us plenty to talk about.
Yeah, and let's
There is
hope,
no doubt.
let's hope it works out.
Oh, and then I had like 3 or 4 Karens dialed up that were aimed at you that we were going to play today. We may save it for the next one. But
No, here let's play this one on the way out.
okay, yeah. If this is exclusive video direct from the frozen tundra of Michigan.
Here we go.
And Pappas goes there a lot. If you ever want to think about what Pappas does when he's in Michigan, this is a little insight to a typical day in the life in on the frozen tundra of Michigan. This is great stuff.
It's
I love
pretty
this.
cold.
It's very cold. I mean, you got to watch it. Okay, here we go.
What is this?
Here we go. Look at this guy. And again, there's Pappas.
He's got his eyes saw.
He's got a fucking.
Got a whole lot of eyes.
He makes his own merry-go-round while he's fishing.
They're enjoying the freedom.
Living large. You know what?
How cool is that?
Look
No,
at-
he's not done yet. He's
Look
not
how
done yet.
happy he is.
Now you've done some ice fishing, have you not?
I have. To be fair, I have gone to ice sheds, but I have never set up my own ice shed because you've got to be really, really, really bored.
It looks like he's got a Popeil pocket fisherman there.
What?
And he
I
is
remember
real-
those.
Look at the gear he's got. And look at he's playing the fish right there on the ice.
Carp, isn't it?
I don't know what that is.
Looks like a carp.
I'm not a fisherman.
It looks like a carp.
But
me.
look
Yeah,
at that.
the size
Look
of
at
those
this
scales.
setup.
That's garbage fish. That's carp.
But look
Eat
at
that.
He's got that thing frying, and I mean, this is.
Gross.
He's got a drone up in the air,
And-
watching his shit circle around.
And that's another resolution. I want to learn how to do my drone.
Making
I know.
some
I told you
cheese.
we're going to have another team building.
Look at that
exercise.
meal. Look at
I
that
don't
meal
think-
out there in the wild
I
in the
don't
frozen
think-
tundra.
I don't think that's the United
The
States.
solitude. You're out there all by yourself.
Yes, there's a reason for
You've
that.
got a big fish to eat.
Yes, you can.
Look at that.
Oh wait, here it comes.
You got
Does it get any better than that?
No way, man. How cool is that?
I don't know how cool that is. I'll tell you how cool it is. It's probably about 4 below. But his feet are cold. His hands are cold. His ass is probably
It's
cold.
called terrible cold.
I'd rather be
See,
sitting.
and he puts his drone up to get a shot of his ice turntable spinning around it.
See,
How
look,
cool is that?
Dan was thinking of you in this new year. Dan was thinking about you because he said that to me. He's like, "This is Pappas up in
You've
Michigan."
got all that equipment, don't you? You got that giant ice saw right in the
No, I don't have the ice. I'll be honest with you. I have been out. I have been out on the lake. I have been out on frozen lake, and it still freaks me out a little bit. It still freaks me out.
Oh,
because
that would freak.
you
the
don't
shit out.
really know how thick it is. And I mean, you're looking at it and you're like, in your head it's thick because there's other people out there. But you're like, for some reason, you think where you're standing is not as thick as where they are.
You know, there could be that thin spot.
There could be,
Right
and
there.
gravity affects some of us more than others. So I'll put it this way: I have never been in an ice shanty or past a shanty where there is not copious amounts of drinking going on. Those guys are usually plastered out of their minds.
Well, that's exactly where I want to be.
there you
It
go.
works out perfect.
No, nothing like being drunk on a frozen lake.
Yeah.
Nothing,
What
nothing
could
bad could happen.
possibly
What
go
could go wrong?
You actually could probably survive a little bit better than if you're sober. So
I'm
you
glad
should-
we got to see that video.
You
though.
should probably have a drink.
It looks like a good time.
But boys, I want to tell you, I appreciate both of you. Great New Year episode. We had a shit ton to talk about, but here we are. Pappas gave us his resolution. It did not last very long,
Lasted no time.
but we'll see you guys back Saturday. I'll let you know what time, and we'll figure it out. But we appreciate you guys, and thank you for tuning in. And remember, tell a friend, subscribe,
There you go.
download, do all the things,
Do all that stuff.
You
Bang
know all
on
that
that
shit.
button.